Please welcome to the show. It's Lorde.
Hi.
Get on in here. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you guys. What a nice introduction.
Oh, you heard that? You weren't supposed to hear that. No, you're not supposed to.
So
I don't want you to get a big ego or anything. No, I'm kidding. But it's true, though, you know.
It's been a long time. I was just thinking about when I was last here, and I was 16, and I'm 20 now. I was so little, and I remember I did my own makeup. It was so early in the morning, and I was little goth, and I just sort of stood there, and I was very bratty. And here I am. I'm a real human being now. So it's nice to be back.
Well, see, I have to disagree with you. I felt that you were a real human being then.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind.
And I will tell you, no, you were very quiet, and you were very you were very reserved, but I could see the sparkle in your eye, and I could see your smile. Your smile was there, and I could see I had no issue with that at all.
Oh, well, that's
not
very
that you're
nice.
saying that anyone had a reason to have an issue with anything. Issues, schmissues, who cares? But you know what? I want to get out of this interview before we get going.
Yes.
First of all, we've got to talk about music. We have to talk about you, your life,
yeah.
whatever, and how it applies to the music, the honesty in the music, and we'll get to that. But everyone listening to this interview, apply this story to yourself. Where were you 3 years ago, and where are you now?
Yeah.
And how did you get where you are? Are you happy where you are? You know, when you hear Lorde's story and how it applies to the music, I think it's such an important part of the journey we're going to take when this album does come out.
Mm.
With that said, Green Light, this song is so cool.
Oh, thank you so much.
You know, it reminds me of when I was a kid and I first heard Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh my God,
Because
Elvis!
It's like
That's
all the,
so nice.
it's like all these, it sounds like it's like a whole album in one.
Thank you.
One song. Talk about Green Light.
Oh man, well, I'm glad that you said it's like a whole album because it's crammed full of memories and sounds and I have synesthesia, which is when kind of for me music is super visual. It can be colors and textures, and this song is just like this stuffed kind of experience, so much to it. But yeah, I mean, I since I saw you last, I had a little heartbreak. I had my heart broken. It's fine. I'm totally fine. But it's. I think your first heartbreak is a big thing. You know, I went from being 16 and being like, I'm never gonna write about that. That's lame. And then I kind of, you go through it, and it's such a colorful, intense thing. And I found myself changing as I came out of that, and I was like, all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm a different person, and it's amazing, and I have to write about this crazy thing. And yeah, so that's kind of the song.
So Lorde, I mean,
like it.
I don't know if it's easy to agree with anyone listening, but sometimes you have to agree, heartache is fabulous. I mean, because it opens other doors.
I think so.
For other feelings and other textures to come through. You know,
I really did. Yeah, I've had a wonderful time being single and figuring it out. And,
See, now you need to go back to them and say thank you for the heartbreak because look at what you've
don't do
done.
that. No, screw that.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I feel good.
By the way, I have to say, my favorite part of the Green Light video is when you're dancing on top of the SUV and the Uber driver is standing off smoking.
Vaping, yeah.
Yeah, vaping. I'm like, that's like any girl. I wonder if I asked my Uber driver, can you pull over into this lot? I'm going to dance on your car for a minute.
Yeah, well,
He's
that's
off
the thing. I
smoking.
was like, they'd just be standing there vaping. Like, that's exactly what the driver would do.
Yeah.
In the video, look, we can sit here and talk for hours and hours about your music. In the video, I've always considered a video to be kind of a secondary thing, even though it's a fantastic piece of art as well.
Totally.
But this video, I mean, this is a world-class piece of film. I mean,
Thank you so much.
it's weird. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and it's okay for you to say yes.
Okay.
This is all you. I mean, even though you have people working with you, this is all vision in your heart and mind because you see the music, you see the video. The video is what you see in the music, right?
Yeah.
The colors.
It's really, I can't sleep. I never sleep because all the stuff is just bouncing around in my brain all the time. Yeah, I mean, even down to, I was sitting in the color edit, being like, it just has to be this perfect kind of cool red that's in my brain, it just, the whole thing is so important to me and so important that it reflects whatever it was I was feeling at that time. So yeah, I'm a big nerd, Elvis. I'm just like
no, nerds are
sitting
good.
Around.
Let's celebrate heartache
all the
and
time.
nerds.
Yeah.
No, so it's safe to say this album, this is the album. This album is you. You are this album. I mean,
Oh yeah.
as compared to your last album? Did
Well,
a lot of people had a hand in the last album. This time it was your hands.
The last album was also very, it was me and one other person. We made the whole record in New Zealand. And that was amazing. It's very much like, I see that album as like, feels like being 16. It feels like it was made in my bedroom. You know, it feels like the suburbs where I grew up. And this record to me feels like the city. You know, I moved out of home and bought a house and started kind of figuring out what I wanted to do and who I was when I was alone. And to me, this record really sounds like that. But so I did the whole record with Jack Antonoff, who is of Bleachers and is so amazing and so talented. And we basically just holed up in his house and wrote and produced this this record, and I'm so proud of it.
Jack grew up listening to us. Jack listens all the time.
Jack is
he's
wonderful.
amazing.
Yeah, he's coming. He's gonna take everything. I'm sure of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so when you listen to an album or a song from an artist, let's take Lorde, for instance, since she's here. You know, when you push play, it's more than just a bunch of notes and words falling out of the speaker. I mean, you're listening to their life. You're listening to this honest look into their heart and into their mind. And I'm hearing, like from our friends at the music label and this and that they cannot give another name of another artist that is being as honest as you are being right now. I don't know if you agree with them, but or you have them all fooled.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Big faker.
But talk about your story the past couple of years.
Oh man, I mean, definitely with this record, I feel like it is so kind of open and vulnerable. I've never written music like this. I just was, all of a sudden I was like, no, I'm not going to dance around it. Like, this is what it is. And it feels amazing to write like that. And the last couple of years, I've really just been, I just like got way off the radar. I went back to New Zealand and just like listened to a bunch of music and went out and danced every night and listened to a lot of hip hop but also listened to like Paul Simon. You know, it was just like this big kind of mash of influences. And then I was like, I'm ready to rejoin the world of the living and put a record out. And here I am.
Some would argue that was the world of the living.
Well, yeah, they're both. Yeah, it's very different. It's very different. Yeah, in New Zealand, I'm like not wearing my shoes, and I'm like on the beach. Like I have the Tide app on my phone, so I can like see what the tides are doing, and I'm very like earthy.
If you have time to keep up with the tides, you are spending some time.
Yeah, I have nothing to do.
You can take off your shoes. By the way, Danielle Bethany, I just met Lorde's mother. And so I'm happy she's with you. I mean, are you now in this kind of personal? I mean, are you two closer than ever before? I mean,
oh man, yeah, she's your
buddy.
She's my best friend. We've always been very tight.
Hi, Mom.
She is gonna lose it if you
watch
bring
out.
her here.
Nate, watch out to the producer Nate that just walked out. He loves
she's
older women.
Out.
He loves older women. He's gonna go after your mom.
Oh my goodness, she's very beautiful. She's
back off, Nate. Oh, he's such a horn dog.
Yeah, no, my mom's with me, and I have 3 other siblings as well. So they're I get to have her this week, which is very nice.
You get to share her.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to ask you a question, and it might seem like a really obvious question, but I feel like it could be really useful to a lot of people listening. When we first met you, I remember we were taking a group picture, and I had my hand on your back because I was like, I want her to be okay. Like, I could tell that you were not, like, you weren't ready yet. You know, you were going through stuff. And now you are, like we've been saying, a totally different person. What has it been for you to become this happy human being? Because I know that there are a lot of people who are listening and would look back over the past 4 years and say, I haven't changed, or I haven't become the person I want to be in 4 years. What has that been for you? What's that process been?
That is a really great question. That's and that's very sweet thing about you.
And by the way, you're definitely owning what Bethany is saying.
Oh,
now we need for you to put your hand on our backs. But anyway,
Help us.
The question. I mean, and you like talking about this.
No, that's a lovely question. I mean, I definitely, you know, I was 16 and I was 16-year-olds very kind of misunderstood.
Well, they're 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
Confused, and you know, I was very kind of transplanted out of my environment, and I feel like, and I'm a true introvert. I'm like so happy just inside my own home with music and books, and you know, and so it was a real process learning to kind of do this, and simultaneously, you know, my friends are in college. You know, they're in their first year, second year of college, and it was a similar process where you go out of this. You have this little perfectly kind of formed world, and then you have to learn to be a real person in this other kind of much bigger thing. But I guess for me, like, it sounds so corny, but I am just the truest version of myself, and the people who like that are like, you can't be anything else. I feel like the way I've come into my own is just being myself and like wearing my weird outfit and doing like, I don't know. It just makes me happy to wake up every morning and be like, that's who I am on Elvis Duran.
Wow.
Little nerd is like on Elvis Duran right now. I don't know if that's a good answer.
It's a great answer. It's a lesson for everybody.
For all of my friends who are introverts, Bethany being one of them,
Hello.
I always feel like I always know where I stand with my introvert friends. Because I know that they are always looking at themselves and understanding themselves better than anyone else could ever. Because it's all
That's who we hang out with.
That's who you hang out with. And I think there's something really beautiful about that.
Yeah.
Another song came out last night.
Yeah.
And what's it called? I don't even know what it's called.
So this one is called Liability.
Oh, Liability.
It's
You want a clip?
It's a big
May I
sad
play a
one.
clip?
Yeah.
It's
please,
a
go for
sad
it.
one. It's a ballad.
It's real sad.
They say you're a little much for me. You're a liability.
Yes, it is sad.
It's a sad one, Elvis.
So, as an artist, as a woman, putting yourself out there,
Mhm.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think how much of you're putting out there? I mean, you're giving everyone a glimpse into the most private parts of you, or some of them.
No,
How's it
totally.
how's that make you feel?
I don't know. I guess I've always written, and I've always read, and I've always listened to. I love hearing people's stories, and even in my life, I'm always kind of collecting stories and little anecdotes that people would tell me, and I feel like that's the only way you can understand what it means to be alive. And I feel like that's why I don't know. That's why I'm here and why I'm have a smile on my face. I'm like, if someone can listen to something and be like, oh, you know what? She feels real dumb sometimes too. When we wrote that song, I just had this moment. It was very like I was feeling very sorry for myself, but I was like, at some point, I'm gonna just be a punish to everyone I know. I was like, I have this crazy career, and it's difficult to be friends with someone in this position, and I was really wallowing in it. But when we wrote it, weirdly after that, I was like, this song sounds like high school to me. It feels like when you're at high school and you're like, am I just a pain all the time to everyone? Does anyone want to be around me? And so it's kind of like, it's if I can write that and feel the way I felt at high school, maybe some kid at high school will
Oh, absolutely.
be like, you know what, it's going to be okay.
Oh no! How about a 52-year-old guy that you're sitting next to?
You're very cool.
Have you ever written something where you're like, oh gosh, I'm not so sure if I want that message out there. People are going to question me about it. And you're just unsure about putting it out.
I don't know. I'm usually kind of just like, I'll write it and I'll be like, well, I'm not going to put this out. This is insane. And then like it's on the album.
Yeah.
And it's number one.
Yes, that's literally like, that's my life. I'm like, writing all these very specific lines about like, she thinks you love the beach. You don't love the beach. Like, it's like, oh, I probably should have. Oh, well. No, I'm just like, you gotta tell the truth, I find when I really tell the truth in a way that's very specific to me, that's when I feel the most excited about the work. So.
If you're just turning us on, this is Lorde, and we're celebrating Lorde and her music. When you listen to the replay channel, listen to the beginning of this interview, what you've missed so far, because so far, fantastic. There's something really great about the two women you're looking at right here, Lorde.
Yeah.
We'll start with Bethany. Bethany is living that single life right now.
Mm-hmm.
A person who's been in several relationships,
Yeah.
but is now... I have watched her blossom and become this incredible, incredible woman on top of the incredible woman she already was, living this life and learning about life on her own, living in the big city.
Yeah. And I actually had a really helpful conversation yesterday. So it's really interesting you came in today to talk about this, because it's about owning who you really are with anybody. There are a lot of people, I think, who we feel like we want to sort of change and flow to kind of fit whoever we're hanging with.
For sure.
And there's a freedom in realizing this is who I am.
Mhm.
And it's going to make the people who really love you stick out and stay with you.
Totally.
And this was literally just had this conversation yesterday. So I love that you're here today to kind of like spread the good word.
And Lorde,
anytime.
with Danielle, who I've known since she was a little girl.
Oh, my goodness.
Now she's a mother with a great husband and 2 kids.
Oh.
And I don't think there's anyone on this show, myself included, who is more as comfortable in her own skin as Danielle. So you are looking now at who you are and who you might be.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, look, I know you never. It's weird to stop and go, kids one day, I don't know, raising a family. Do you ever does that ever flash through your mind? Or
oh my God, I love kids. I'm the biggest.
What about your kids though?
You like the ones you can give back.
100% gonna have kids. No, I'm obsessed. I want my own little pals to just rock around with. I'm obsessed with children. My best friend just had a baby, and I was in the delivery, and I was like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever been a part of.
I tell Elvis all the time, nothing is better than when they come home from school and I'm waiting and they go, Mom! And
Oh,
they want to tell me
God.
all about their day, and they're
I
so
love
excited
it.
to see you. It's just the coolest feeling ever.
I think I'm gonna be a cool weird mom. I'm gonna have
you will
some
be.
cool stories.
I know this may sound creepy, but I know that I could be your grandfather. I guess your father. Would you be my mother? I don't know.
Listen, it's my pleasure. I
We'll
get
talk
this
about
question a lot.
Can I ask what's in your locket? You're wearing this beautiful locket.
Oh,
The whole
yeah.
time I'm like, who's in your locket?
So I just got asked this, and there's actually nothing in it yet. Can we put something in it? What can we
Yeah.
put in
Oh
this?
my God! Wait, this could be a song.
Yes.
Nothing in my locket.
Nothing in my locket? Are
should I
you
put
in
in
my
it?
locket?
Yeah, I just got it. Who knows?
Lorde, you're going to be on Saturday Night Live this weekend.
Yes.
Doing 2 songs.
Yes.
Are you doing any skits as well, or are you just doing the songs?
I am.
Are you playing Donald Trump? What are you doing?
Donald
Listen,
Trump.
they looked around the room and they thought,
She's Donald Trump.
That's who we want. No, I'm in one skit for so short. I don't even know if
Don't tell us.
But I'm it's funny because I did get asked. I said to someone, no, I didn't get asked. I just offered it. I was like, I can never host because I'm so not funny. I have no comic timing. It would just be a lead balloon.
Oh.
So
I think
and then
you'd
they
be
were
a
like, "Do you want to do a
great
skit?" And I was like, "Totally."
Yeah,
But,
so that's going to be
I have to
exciting.
do very little. So
Live
it's-
TV.
It's exciting,
It
and I'm
is.
so excited to perform. I think it's going to be amazing.
So before you leave us, I know you have a world out there waiting for you today, and they all deserve time with you just like us.
Oh,
Because
this has been so lovely.
Lorde,
Can I just say I've enjoyed this so much.
I want you to come back
Please have me
ASAP.
back. I'm coming back.
What I love, one of the many things I love about your music is Lorde's music does not discriminate. You could turn on, in radio, it's just in this. I hate this part about what we do. We compartmentalize. Oh, this must be dance music. This station must be black music. This must be Hispanic music. This station must be white music and country music. Your music does not discriminate. It goes across all lines. And I think that is, in my opinion, the sign of a true magical artist. Your music does that. And I really wish more artists could find it within themselves to do what it is you do, and I don't know what it is, to make that happen, because that's what brings the people who are apart together, formats together. I think there's a lot to be said for that. And congratulations on that.
Thanks so much. Oh my goodness.
With that said, let's give you some Lorde. We thank you for coming in. By the way, the album, Melodrama, available now for pre-order. I want everyone, even people who have to steal a credit card to make it happen.
No, okay.
I want you to go on and pre-order Melodrama from Lorde right now.
Oh.
Let's support this incredible piece of artwork that is officially dropping in June, I guess.
Mm-hmm. June 16th.
And it's not even done yet. You're not even finished with the album, are you?
We are just tying off those last little.
You got to do that. You got to do that. You have to do that Locket song that we came up
Yes, yeah, that's no, it's all written. So that's
thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. This was wonderful, guys. I really appreciate coming here and talking to you. Please have me back anytime. I'll be your intern.
No, come back in an hour.
I'm really good at getting coffees. I can do it all.
Lorde's coming back and she's coming back in 1 hour. Now listen to all the songs wrapped into one. This is Greenlight, Lorde.